was light. God sounded and he moved things with his voice. God said. That was very powerful. Sound vibrates molecules. And when God spoke, molecules stood fast and obeyed their commander. There's massive creative power in music and in sound. And Dr. Hans Jenny, a Swiss physician and natural scientist, he photographed plastics, powders, liquids, and other inorganic substances as they were being vibrated with sound. Here's what he saw with his own eyes. He found that inorganic matter changes shape and forms geometric patterns that can come to resemble living creatures such as starfish and human cells. Sound moves matter. So these images are simply inorganic substances, powders and things, being vibrated by frequencies, and they come into pattern. That's fascinating to me. Look at that. We'll blow this up for you so you can see that. How intricate that is. Look at that star-looking thing in the middle. Isn't that amazing? Did you know sound moved matter? Look at this one. This just amazes me because there's so much geometric shape, and yet sound is doing it. Structure. Dr. Hans Jenny said himself in his research, he concluded that sound has a direct influence on our human biology and thus influences our health. And this is very interesting, but we'll come back to this because we're going to talk a lot more about the physiology, the mental aspects, and the spiritual aspects of music. Now, when God spoke, when he sounded, when he created beauty. He created harmony. I love that picture. He created radiance. And he created structure. And of course, he created symmetry. And so when God creates with pure sound, it creates gorgeous things. There was perfect harmony in the entire universe at one time. I don't know if you know that or not. But before sin, there was perfect harmony. And that's a musical term. And we'll learn about that later. There was no note of discord, and we'll learn about that word as well. What does discord mean? We'll learn about that. There was no note of discord to mar the celestial harmonies until one chose to pervert the freedom that God had granted. Sin originated with him who, next to Christ, had been most honored of God. Lucifer, son of the morning, chief covering cherub, holy and undefiled. Have you ever thought about that? That actually before Lucifer became Satan, he used to be a holy, undefiled, wonderfully happy creature. In fact, the Bible talks about his pipes, talks about his singing voice, and how amazing it was. And in fact, he himself was the choir master of heaven. And of course, if you're the choir master of any group, you really need to know something about music, amen? Yet he indulged the desire for self-exaltation. He ventured to covet the homage due alone to Christ. Now the perfect harmony of heaven was broken. Each one of these sentences are key sentences you can find in inspired writings. Revelation 12:9 says, there was war in heaven, and that great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So what does that mean for us as human beings? That means he's here. That means you better look out, because there is a devil that doesn't love us, and he wants to take us out, and he's got a bunch of cronies with him. And they don't want to do anything that's good to us.